Greetings, everyone. I'm Eric Paulson with Your Essential Practice. For today's divinely guided rune reading, we're getting into your astrological sign. So if this message doesn't resonate with your sun sign, please check out either, your sun sign, right? Then your moon, your rising, or your Venus signs as well. See what resonates with you. These rune readings are going to be a little bit different. There are going to be 6 runes in the rune reading, and we'll go over that when it comes to the time for the reading. I'd like to now cleanse this energetic space with a singing bowl. As usual, I have the $2 note in the singing bowl that represents uncommon abundance in our lives. As I ring the singing bowl, we're simultaneously giving gratitude towards and inviting more of that uncommon abundance back into our lives. So let's take this moment, and I invite you to take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Don't force it, and try to make your exhales a little bit longer than your inhales, focusing on the intent of today's divinely guided rune reading for each zodiac sign. These messages will be uploaded once a week, continuing on. You can consider this your divinely guided rune reading for the season of Ostara. Ostara is the pagan holiday celebrating the Spring Equinox. So let's focus on that intent. Beautiful stuff, everyone. So, Ostara, the Spring Equinox, this is right after that very weird kind of eclipse, lunar eclipse energy in Virgo, prompting us to go with the flow and to release what's no longer serving our highest path. A profound realization that I found personally recently was leaning into my allergy suffering. I've been taking these over-the-counter medicines for like 6 years, and it's not been healthy for me. So recently, right around the eclipse, a little bit before that, even, I was having a really hard time with the sinuses and these allergy type symptoms, right? And I was thinking, okay, what's wrong? I'm trying ginger, I'm trying this, and I'm trying that, and nothing seems to have been working. It wasn't until I was brought to this inner realization about leaning into the spiritual meaning of what the allergy suffering is for me. And that is resistance to the flow of the energies that are present in our lives right now. So for me, I was resistant for a lot of reasons. I've been pretty much the epitome of resistance, right? My family was all Packer fans, for instance, and I was a Bears fan just in spite growing up, all right? So that's a little bit of an example. This cathartic release, this turning over, this unearthing, and things being brought in front of us to release, we can celebrate during this Ostara season with these beautiful spring rebirth, rejuvenation, and fertile energies. All right, so I want to take a moment here and thank all of you wonderful subscribers and viewers out there. Over 30,000 views on this channel so far, and about 500 subscribers. So let's keep on sharing that beautiful healing work out there, everybody. Again, if this message doesn't resonate for you, share it to somebody who might, and let that message get out there to them. Every interaction, comment, like, even a dislike, would actually help the channel to get to the people that need this medicine more. All right, so I thank you, and let's, without further ado, get into your divinely guided rune reading. Greetings, Sagittarius. Welcome to your divinely guided rune reading for the season of Ostara, and this is that Spring Equinox. Beautiful, loving energy is coming forward here. Let's go over the rune positions here. We have in the first spot, past situations. In the number 2 slot, we have present situation. And then the third rune will be about future situations. And then the fourth rune will be about the influences on the question or the topic at hand. And then the fifth rune will be about the current advice. And finally, we'll end with the most likely outcome for the sixth rune. Let's jump right in for your reading, Sagittarius. Coming from your energetic past is that rune of Redho. Redho is indicative of a change of house, spouse, or career. Please take what resonates in this reading and leave what doesn't. This is also calling us to surrender to the energetic flow. Like we can R for resist or R for repeat life lessons when we resist, because we can always put our hand in front of a wave and that wave will continue. All right, then we'll just miss that wave and then I'll come back and hit the other side of our hand. Until we learn to go with the wave, we won't know where it goes. So this is really calling us to our roll with the waves, right? Or ride that energetic wave. That's really great because I think you've been really releasing and surrendering to flow, which has been a huge message of this last lunar eclipse here in Virgo. In your second position here, we have the rune of Fehu. Fehu literally means cattle or abundance. So when we increase in abundance, so too do we increase our avenues or options or choices, avenues of investment, choices we can make, responsibilities that we have, right? When you have more cattle, you need more feed, more pasture, more protection, probably more help, and then investing in what happens with them. So what is this abundance to you? How do you view abundance, right? How do you invest your abundance? How do you surrender to the energetic flow and make good choices moving forward as you accumulate this abundance of knowledge? All right, so let's get into the third rune. Third rune is called Naldis. I like to call it now this. It sounds so similar. You're going down this path and now this log is blocking your path before you can continue. So that's indicative of needs, constraints, limitations. This is calling us to examine what is needed right now. What is being, it's calling you to be present and really figure out what this surrendering to flow thing is all about for you. You can transmute this log into several other runes. You can turn it into an X for Gibo, right, which is more spiritual gifts and partnerships, or several other runes that are very beneficial for you. If we don't address this log and we let it fall into our path, we're going to be in the rune of Isa. Then I will be stuck rigid, repeating life lessons. This is when we're not in that energetic flow, okay? But when we are, we get to transmute these needs, constraints, limitations, or perceived limitations into beautiful outcomes. In this fourth rune position, we have the rune Yara. Yara is a lot like the world card or even the Wheel of Fortune. Like what goes around comes around. The end of a cycle, beginning of a new one. This literally meant back in the day, year, the end of a cycle, like the harvest. So this rune literally translates into harvest, and that's irreversible. So when we're in the harvest, we're also in a learning phase. We're taking evaluation. We're looking at the stock of our crop, the quality of the harvest, the abundance of it, right? The abundance of it. Did I plant the right seed? Did I give it enough sunshine? Do I maybe need to get my seeds from a more reputable vendor? Things like that. So take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't when you're thinking about these things, because you're coming from this surrender and looking at your abundance, now suddenly forced with these needs, constraints, and limitations, but you're called to really take evaluation of yourself and how you invest these energies, how you view abundance, how you surrender to flow, how you address your needs, right? because you're really called to go within and take this learning period pretty seriously, it looks like. The current advice, yeah, okay, so not as seriously. The runes have corrected me, I stand corrected. This is the rune of Wunjo. This is literally joy, celebration, gladness, the clan flag of success, right? It's all those energies, the cooperation, the teamwork, the reaching back to pull someone up in your clan, right? To reach that top of the hill, to plant that clan flag of success. So while you're in this learning phase, you're supposed to be celebrating with your clan, your spirit tribe, maybe a group of coworkers that you resonate with, your friends. Like, you're called to examine the closest energies that you surround yourself with, because we are impacted by those, right? Those happen for us because we chose them, right? So even what you're listening to, what you're watching, the 5 energies that you surround yourself with, you become the most of. And your advice is to kind of examine what that is and address those needs, evaluate what those needs are, and celebrate the journey along the way. So you can plant that clan flag of success. So you can do this with a heart full of gratitude, full of joy, and just knowing that you are manifesting, you are learning. There's no such thing as a perceived failure or a perceived shortcoming. There are only lessons, and it's a lifelong enriching journey for you. This is beautiful. Oh yeah, we talked about Gibo a little bit ago in transmuting that needs and limitations. Okay, so yeah, Gibo is your most likely outcome. Enhanced spiritual gifts. Maybe this could be literal gifts. But I see this as partnerships as well, and really just having this secured sense in your tribe, your community, your spiritual gifts, how you are leading by example, and what that means to you. Really just, I think, finding yourself and ending up with these beautiful gifts that you're coming into from the simple practice of self-evaluation. That's really beautiful. Let that be your essential practice this week coming up. All right, let's get a card of clarity from the Soul's Journey Oracle deck. These messages are straight from Spirit, straight from Source, directly to your spirit, to your soul. So Divine, please show us clearly what message of clarity does Sagittarius energy need to hear for this Ostara, week of Ostara, beautiful Spring Equinox energy rune reading. What do they need to hear? What does Sagittarius need to hear? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we have the card of freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness, is what the card says. Yeah, you are free. You have the freedom of choice. You have the freedom to do whatever you want with these needs, and to learn whatever you want, and to celebrate however you want, to view abundance however you want. You can surrender to flow in many ways. Regardless, you are free to do all of this exploring and be blessed with these beautiful, abundant energies in your upcoming future. Let's read more about that freedom card. Again, it says, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Your soul is open to receiving new wisdom and insights that will allow it to make the right choices for its own growth. Remember, you are never a victim of other people or their circumstances. You have complete control over your own choices. By following your heart and being authentic to yourself, you present the real you to the world. Making decisions based on other people's expectations is not the true path to happiness. You are responsible for creating your own reality. When a soul shifts into a place of honoring in its totality, in itself, right, free from judgment, only then will it find its true freedom. Every soul is unique and follows its own path. Don't give in to peer pressure or the urge to fit in. You are the only one who truly knows the real you. So feel free to march to the beat of your own drummer. Beautiful, beautiful reading here for you, Sagittarius. I truly hope this resonates with you, and I want to wish you a namaste. Have a blessed and abundant day.